Hey everyone, Don here again. And like I said, like I promised, I'm going to do some Let's Plays. I'm decided I'm going to do my Let's Plays on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening whenever possible. I'm going to try to keep that schedule. On Thursdays, I'm going to focus on horror games, and on Tuesdays, I'm going to focus on more sci-fi, adventure, fantasy games. So I'm going to get the most of my favorite worlds in on my on my Let's Play, not live streams. So the first Let's Play I'm going to do, as you can tell by the repetitive load screen over and over again, is Friday the 13th from the NES, the 8-bit Nintendo version. This isn't the greatest game by any stretch, but I have a soft spot for it, and I have some fond memories of playing it as a kid. And it is definitely horror related, related to the Friday the 13th franchise, which I do enjoy very much. I love the Friday the 13th TM. Like, come on, we know it's trademarked. But anyways, let's get into the game. I'm going to do a quick Let's Play tonight. I had done a longer one, but I'm going to par this one down just to give you a brief overview of the game and show you some of the gameplay. And then next week we're going to do a little bit more. I just wanted to cover briefly tonight. I wanted to do more, but the sound was really bad on the first one. The master volume of the game was way too loud. You could barely hear me, so I want to make sure I'm out front and present. So I want you to hear the sound of my... Okay, so let's get into it. This game was made in 1988. It was made by LJN. Now, if anyone who's watching or who knows of the Angry Video Game Nerd, all you have to do is Google on YouTube, Angry Video Game Nerd, or AVGN, LJN, AVGN, LJN, and you'll get, he does not like the LJN games. I'm kind of indifferent to them. Most of them are bad, but there are a couple actually that aren't that bad, and this is one of them for me because, again, I own this game. I remember playing it growing up, so I do have a soft spot for it. So let's get into it because the music's just going to keep playing repetitively. Even though I do really like the soundtrack of that game, without the gameplay it gets to be a little repetitive. So what we've got here is we've got a map of Camp Crystal Lake, and we've got 6 counselors to choose from. So you're going to switch through all 6 counselors and you choose the ones you want. You can play as 3 different guys, 3 different girls. And they've all got their health bars and their names. They're all individually named. The best 2 characters in the game are by far Mark and Chrissy. Those are the ones you want to stick with. Those are the ones you want to make sure you stay alive. The other ones are either slower or they don't jump as high. So I'm going to start the game with Mark this time. As you can see on the map, it's a map of Camp Crystal Lake, or Crystal Lake Camp map. I'm on Mark, he's flashing, and up in the top left corner you notice that a cabin is flashing. That means Mark is in that cabin. So if you flip through, there's Paul over there on the top right. There's Laura in the bottom right by the lake. So what you can do is you can start anywhere you want, and as long as you're in a small cabin, you can press start and you can switch to the corresponding counselor that you want to use. So basically the purpose of the game is to defeat Jason. He's going to come around randomly, he's going to attack counselors in the smaller cabins. He might even run to you on the road. He might even come into the cabin you're going to go into. And so what the purpose of the game is, you're going to go around and try to find better weapons to build your arsenal. You pass your weapons along to your counselors to fight Jason off and eventually beat him. I think you have to beat him 3 times in the game. Now when we do run into him in this playthrough, he's going to seem pretty easy because I played it a lot of times. I'm going to be rusty, so I might get hit a bunch, but he's going to seem easier than he does in the second and third night, trust me. First night is easy mode, second night is a reality check. You're definitely playing like a Dark Souls level, hard type difficulty. Like, the difficulty ramps up ridiculously from the first night to the second. So I'm going to start as Mark because he's probably the best overall counselor along with Chrissy. I just want to start up here because he's closer to the cave. I'll keep Chrissy down by the lake because another thing Jason loves to do in this game, even though it's never happened in a Friday the 13th movie, is he kills children for some reason. If you see the lake area, there's 3 cabins you can't reach by the paths that go around the map. You can only reach that by a boat, and you can get in the rowboat going on each side of the path that's leading the lake, and you'll get a certain alarm in the game. You'll see it as we're going on. You'll see that Jason is attacking the children, and you have to use a counselor to get there. So you want to keep a good counselor closer to the lake, and that's going to be my Chrissy. Chrissy's going to be my go-to. It's either Chrissy or Mark, depending on where they are in the map. I have no preference. It's just one of the 2 faster and better jumping counselors. I want them closer to that lake, so when that alarm goes off, I don't lose any children. Don't waste any time. I can run right to the boat. They row the boat faster as well, so we can get right to the kids, save them, and get Jason on his way. So he's going to show up a million times, and even when you do fight him, you can't defeat him at first. You can only knock off a certain portion of his health, and then he'll just come right back. So we're going to start with Mark. I'm just going to press start. First tip it's going to give you is use the torch to light the fireplace. Now right away that's wrong. And what I mean is, what you need to light the fireplaces is a lighter, not a torch. Translation issue. Which was common in the time for the NES. A lot of the games coming over from Japan were being translated in Japan by people that might not have fully understood English, like myself right there with that flub. I do apologize. I'm just joking there, by the way. Alright, so we're going to take that. So you've got 4 options when you're in a cabin. So you got change, and that's change your counselor. You can only use that option when you're in a cabin with another counselor. Pass. Now see, I've got a knife. I started the game with a rock. I should have described that a bit better, but you start the game with a rock. But as you kill mobs and you can jump around and they'll just spawn, you can find better weapons. And there are better weapons locked in cabins, in the cave, and in the woods. But you need a key to get in those. We're going to find that key as well. I'll show you how we're going to do it. So you can use that pass option when you're in another cabin with a counselor. You just pass your weapon to that counselor, so they have a better weapon right there. Your survival rate against Jason. The more they're going to do more damage, they're going to survive longer against Jason. Cure. You're going to find health pots eventually. So in the bottom left of your 4 inventory boxes, you can see a lighter there right now. If you get in the bigger one to the right, if you get a health pot and they randomly generate from just jumping or killing things, you pick them up and you can carry them. So what you can do is cure another counselor that's been injured, or you can hold on to it. And you can't use it to cure yourself, but what happens is if you get down to 0 health with your active counselor that's holding the health pots, then the health pots will start regenerating your health. Only when you reach 0 though. So, and take is just pick up items off the ground. So what I'm going to do is take that item. I'm going to press select. I'm going to press take. It's going to give us a useless cryptic message. Go into one of the cabins by the lake. Why? But that's a common theme in this game, these cryptic messages. They're just randomly around in the cabins. And they mean pretty much nothing. So what I've done is, I've gone into one of the bigger cabins, because there's 2 different sizes. There's a smaller cabin, where you can stay as a counselor and switch to a different counselor. And the larger cabins are where there's fireplaces. So what I picked the lighter up for is, you have to go, and there's 6 different large cabins. Use that lighter to light the fireplace. Now if you light the fireplace, you get 2 items unlocked in the game, and you're going to need both. I'll explain to you what they are when we get to that. We might not make it in this chapter, but as we get through this Let's Play, you will be able to see it. So I've lit the first large cabin's fireplace, so I'm just going to find my way out. It's a bit confusing. All I'm doing is pressing left and right on the D-pad, and it's eventually going to take us back to the hallway. I'm just going to walk forward. I hope you're enjoying this. I really enjoy this game. I enjoy having the chance to do this Let's Play session. So I hope you give this game a try. And let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what you think of this stream. I mean of the Let's Play, how it can be improved, that sort of thing. Comment down below. That's what they're for. I grow on feedback. I love the people that I'm friends with that are in the community that have helped me so far, helped me grow to where I am. I'm so thankful for that. And I'm always open to more feedback on how I can improve my thing and make myself a little bit better. Keep going, man. Keep climbing that mountain. That's the point of this. Just keep going. Developing our crafts and climbing that mountain. Well, at least that's what it is to me, and I hope everybody else is on board with me on that too. So what I've done is, I'll go back to Mark, and we got the alarm. We get the alarm above in the top left-hand corner beside the 5 counselors. So if you're an active counselor, there's 5 other counselors that can be attacked, obviously. And the one below it is the children count. As he kills them, the count will go down from 15 to lower. That one will flash when he's attacking the children, and the one above will flash when he's attacking a counselor. Pretty self-explanatory. So I'm Mark, I'm going to press start, and the one that's flashing is the one where Jason is in, the one that's flashing green, I mean. So I just have to find that cabin. So I'm going to push around, and there it is right there. It's Debbie's cabin. We're already in there, but I'm tracking back. So I'm going to press start, and then I'm going to be in that cabin, and I'm just going to flip around, and Jason's the first turn. All you do is hit left and right to walk around, to like pan around the cabin. Whoops. Got hit. You just push left and right to circle around in the different views of the cabin until you find Jason. Eventually he'll show up. I'm going to fight back in a minute. I'm just trying to align myself. See how that wall right above where I'm standing? I'm right on the edge of it. That's the sweet spot in the game. No matter what the board is, like no matter what skin of the cabin you're facing, whether it be a wall or the door or this half wall, you want to be in that sweet spot because it's easier to avoid. So how I'm avoiding is I'm pressing down and to the left at the same time, and then I'm just pressing the B button to fire, or the A button. I do like that soundtrack though. That soundtrack's pretty nice. And that's the 8-bit NES Jason. Now anyone who's played Friday the 13th on the PC or on one of the platforms, that's how he looks. That game is ridiculously good. I went on about it in some of my live streams, and I've also touched on how much I respect the guys from Gun Media and Ilphonic in the unboxing video I just did. And then when I did the unboxing of the Ultimate Slasher Edition as well, I went on how much what a great job they did transforming the movie franchise into a game, because it really was a love letter to the series. They put a ridiculous amount of care and effort into it in terms of like so many details. You'll walk around in cabins in that game and there'll be books on the cabins from certain movies. They recognize that the characters were either reading these magazines or these cabins, and you're like, whoa, that's how you know that those guys put a lot of work into it. Now we'll flash back further, probably about 30 years before that came out. That game came out actually 30 years, 1988, 29 years before, because the PC platforming game came out in 2017. And if we go back to 1988, this is what we got. This is what we got. If you were a Friday the 13th fan, this is the game you ended up with. You got Purple Jason. But like I was leading to when I brought up that topic is, the guys at Gun Media love it so much. They loved this game growing up as children as well, as did I, that they eventually put a skin out that they covered the Part 3 Jason they have in the PC game, and that you can be that Jason. You are colored that way. You have the purple jumpsuit and you have the bluish green mask. And they actually even had one of their friends make a music track that's similar to his attack music, not quite the same, but similar to it, in an 8-bit style fashion, like a retro fashion. It was a really nice touch, and I love playing as Jason, because the first thing I think is, hey, the NES game, but in that game you can actually look really cool being Jason, and you're still a nod to the Nintendo days. Alright, so I'm going to switch back to Mark. And all I'm going to do now is find the other big cabins. I'm going to try to get through... Are you kidding me? Sometimes he just shows up on the road like that. As long as you have Mark, you're okay, because you can usually avoid his attacks. On the most part. I just lost more than half my health and I don't have any health pots. Ugh. And if I go this way, he's just going to be there again. Now normally he's not in these bigger cabins, but from time to time he is. Phew. That's just a glitch. Sometimes he's in these bigger cabins. If he was in there, I would have been in real trouble. So all I'm doing is looking for those little cryptic notes, pressing left and right, moving towards that fireplace. Got the fireplace. More cryptic notes? Nope. And out we go. Alright, on to the next cabin. I'm gonna avoid the smaller cabins. I might check them just to pass knives to the counselors that are hiding in them. That way they have a bit better weapon if Jason comes along. And I'm jumping through the air. Like I'm trying to fly to get one of those health pots. Just hoping those health pots spawn because I desperately need them for Mark. If you lose Mark this early in the game, you might as well just hit reset, because you're not... You might beat the first night, but you're definitely not winning the game without Mark or Chrissy. You have to have both those counselors have to live to the end. I mean, you could do it, but it's already ridiculously difficult enough without Game Genie, because I've never beat this game without Game Genie. Having Mark or Chrissy without Game Genie, that's just, wow. That's just, yeah. That's ridiculously hard. I couldn't imagine trying to do that. So we're almost at night, and there he is. He's over at the cabin with the kids now. So all I'm going to do is jump my way over here, stop here, and hope Chrissy is still by the lake. And she is. So I'm going to, all I did was, I was Mark, pressed start, paused it, then I'm just going to switch to Chrissy, going to leave the cabin, and head towards the boat. This is the launch area for the boat. Just get in the rowboat. You have to avoid these wonderful birds. And Chrissy doesn't have a real weapon yet. Wonderful. I'm running out of time. Eventually Jason's just going to come across the screen here. If you don't get to the cabin in a certain amount of time, he actually didn't come. He normally does. Alright, so there's the kids. They thanked me for saving them. Like I said, Jason never kills kids, so I'm not sure why he does in this game. And here we go. I found Jason. Now I'm just gonna fight him. Like I said, it's much easier with Chrissy and Mark. Slow on the draw. I'm so rusty. I'm gonna get better at this. And we're gonna beat this game. You win. For now. Avoid the zombies that burst out of the water, and avoid... Are you kidding me? Avoid the birds that swoop down and kill you. Yeah, that was a very common thing in Friday the 13th. It was in every Friday the 13th. Zombies and killer birds. That never happened in the Friday the 13th, if anyone's wondering. Never once. If you couldn't tell by my ultra sarcastic tone. Alright, so now I'm George. Just avoiding that axe. Fighting with that rock. I like to wait to see what pattern he follows. He usually follows the same one, but occasionally they do change it up on you and he'll double swing. Like that. You just gotta be cognizant of that. So I've got some of his health bar down, but I'm not even anywhere near close to killing him yet on the first night. Gonna switch back to Mark. Now I'm gonna head towards the next big cabins. Just make my way through, get those big cabins. While avoiding the zombies. Gotta avoid those zombies. Another cryptic note. I'm gonna press select. Go to take, press the A button, there's a machete hidden somewhere in the cave. Hopefully next Thursday, I'll be able to show you some of the cave, but probably won't make it there tonight. Because I need an item before I can go there. I need to find an item. Well, you can go in the cave, but it's pretty much like instant death without this item. It's way easier once you have it. So there's 3 cabins lit. Let me just make sure. I don't remember if I got that one in the far end. I want to say I did, but if I didn't, then... It's really a memory game. You gotta know exactly where you've been. Oh, health pod. It really, in many ways, is a memory game. You gotta know exactly what cabins you've been in to know that you've lit all of them. Another cryptic note. Select, press take. Go into the cabin near the cave. Yeah, conveniently, I'm nowhere near the cave, but it's telling me to do that. We're gonna pass on that. So that should be cabin number 4, and we're gonna know because you get something when you light all 6. All 6 of the fireplaces that are in the bigger cabin. I'm pretty sure I explained that earlier, but just in case I didn't. If I pause it, I'm in front of a bigger cabin. There's 6 big cabins. As long as you light the fireplaces in all 6 cabins, then you get a special item for doing that. I'm gonna take the long way around the forest. Of course he's there. Oh. He's in here. Great. So I'm gonna fight him with Debbie, because she's got a bit more health. That's why I passed her the knife. Probably just let her have the knife anyway. Like I said, find that sweet spot about a third of the way through the screen, just in between a third and a half of the bottom of the screen. Stand there, and that's where you do the down and to the left simultaneously. Oh my god. Just getting wrecked. Getting wrecked tonight. Okay, so I could just easily switch back to Mark right here and go out. Now if I do that, Jason's going to be outside. Another game glitch, I don't know why. Whenever you're in the cabin, no matter which counselor I am, the one that I defended or the one that was fighting, you go outside, you're facing off with Jason like right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to Chrissy again. I'm just going to jump around a little bit, try to find a knife, because Chrissy needs a better weapon. Mark's pretty roughed up. Usually the way I like to play it is I use Mark to find items, weapons and such. There we go. And then I go from there. Alright, so I'm going to use Mark. I'm going to head towards that flashing cabin to save whoever's in trouble this time. It's probably going to be Debbie again, because Debbie was no longer in that cabin with me. But we're going to find out in 2 seconds. Debbie again. So like I said, you don't want to lose Mark this early, so if a counselor has to go down, it's going to be one of the slower counselors like Debbie. I'm hoping no one dies. Then I can rejoin the game in a save state from where we left off next week. Awesome, did it. But like I said, if I go outside with Mark... So now I gotta go back outside with Chrissy. Jump around a bit. It kind of resets it. Change back to Mark, leave, and he should be gone. Don't ask me why, that's the thing. But it is. He might be in this cabin though. And he is. Like I said, he spawns in these bigger cabins. I really hope Mark doesn't die. Or we're going to be starting over next week from the beginning. Now, one thing about fighting in these cabins is he won't be outside. 99% sure, if my memory serves me correctly, he's not going to be outside when we go in here, because it's a glitch that he shows in those cabins. I'm absolutely positive it's a glitch. He's not going to be outside this cabin, because he's not supposed to go in these cabins in the game, and occasionally he just randomly does. LJN and their wonderful programming skills. Oh, got a letter. What do we got here? You can find a torch in one of the cabins by the lake. So there you go, viewers, whoever's watching this, checking it out. The torch is the weapon I'm going to get from lighting all the fireplaces. I'm going to get something else as well, but the one thing you get is a torch, and that's a pretty epic weapon. If I make it there. Oh my god, I'm not even going to make it there. Oh my god. Oh my god, I got a health pot. Awesome. This should be the last one. The torch should be in here. I can get it to Chrissy before I die. Because like I was saying, I like to keep Chrissy close to the lake, and I use Mark as a runner, or vice versa. Whoever I keep by the lake, awesome. There it is. I did the one up at the top. There's our flashlight. So what I was saying is I like to use Mark or Chrissy as the runner, and the vice versa character stays by the lake to defend the children. I do that because I can use the faster counselor to cover more ground to get the items that I want, whether it be different weapons, like lighting all these fireplaces to get the torch and the flashlight, or there's other weapons you can get like machetes and axes, but you gotta go into the cave or the cabins in the woods, like the cryptic messages are telling us. So what you want to do here is you want to make sure you press select and take. Now if you turn away from the screen after you light that fireplace and you don't pick up the flashlight, it will be gone. And you can't get it again with the counselor you just did it with. You have to start it with another counselor. So like I said, you might as well hit reset at that point. So just make sure you hit take. I've got it in my inventory, and then I'm good to go. So that's it for tonight. I think I'm going to sign off for tonight. I made it pretty far. I've got actually 2 seconds. Bear with me. I'm going to find the torch. And there it is. That's the torch. That's the best weapon in this stage of the game. There's better ones as we progress through, but right now what you want for sure is that torch. So I'm going to select, and I'm going to take that. Now I have the torch. I'm going to go find Chrissy, and I'm going to give her the torch to make sure Mark doesn't die, but I'm not going to do that tonight unless she's here by the lake, which she might be. If she is, then that's awesome. We can pass her the torch, and then I'm going to sign off for the night. And there's Chrissy. So I'm going to pass her. Now she's holding the better weapon. Now she can use it to go fight Jason in the cabin in the cabins of where the children are in the middle of the lake, and that does crazy damage. So now I'm going to use Mark. I'm going to go to the woods when we tune in next time. When you tune in next week, I'm going to be in the woods farming medical supplies because Chrissy needs some health and I need some health. I'm actually going to use one to cure her to make her fully healthy because I don't want to lose the torch by her dying in a fight to Jason protecting the children. I'm going to only leave one for Mark, and then next week what I'm going to do is go into the forest and the cave. I'm going to farm stuff. And the other reason that we need the flashlight that's in your items now in the bottom right hand corner is the flashlight highlights the cave. The cave is usually dark. You have a flashlight, you can see the entire cave. The key, you can't get in the cabins in the woods or the ones in the cave without having a key. They're locked. You won't be able to get in. You gotta have those keys. And that's it for tonight's video. That's part 1 of my Let's Play series of Friday the 13th on NES. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. If you liked the video, give me a like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think of my gameplay, how I'm doing this Let's Play. What games would you like me to play in the future? Give me some hints. Let me know what you think of this game. Whether or not you like it, whether or not you grew up with it in the past, you played it before, you liked it, you didn't like it, you never want to see the game again in your life, get it off your YouTube channel. Give me all that feedback. I'd appreciate it and I'd love you for it. And as always, if you can, give me a subscribe. That'd be awesome. My channel is growing, just past 100 subscribers. I had a subscriber special that I also have on my channel. And I thank everyone that's helped me get to this point. I love you all the people in the YouTube community, all my friends that I've gained. Thank you all the people that I gave shoutouts to. I'm always going to be there for you. I know you guys are going to do the same to me. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.